Hi everybody, this is your weekly horoscope for Monday the 20th of March, going through until Sunday the 26th of March, and my horoscopes are based on London time. Now, I've had a look at this week and it looks like a really interesting week, especially when it comes to relationships. Monday the 20th of March is the first day of spring. So, as far as the astrology is concerned, this is the new year. Okay, it's the spring equinox. It's when day and night are exactly equal. You've got just as much darkness as you have light, and it's a really good time to check for balance in your own life, and that's in any area of your life. In terms of your health or your relationships or your work, are you actually able to balance the things that you have going on in your life, and are things on an even keel? It's a really good time to look into that. Now, at the same time, we've got the moon going into Capricorn at 3:32 in the afternoon. The moon being really what nurtures you and what gives you a sense of ease. In Capricorn, it's very grounded. It's very much about working hard and working towards a goal. So being productive, having something to work towards is going to give you a sense of ease and comfort like nothing else will. And also, we've got the sun going into Aries, so happy birthday, Aries, and that happens at 10:30 in the morning. So, in terms of the zodiac, the traditional zodiac, we've got the chart and we've got the 12 houses, and the rising sign, the first house, is ruled by Aries. So as far as the astrology is concerned, Aries is the beginning of the year. So now that we've got the sun going into Aries, we've got all of those things associated with new beginnings. It's fire, it's energy, it's drive, it's being able to push things forward. It's getting excited and looking at where you want to go. So the pace really picks up. Check for balance in your own life, but there will also be certain things that you suddenly find yourself really being interested in, and then saying, this is something that I actually want to do. So whether it's, I want to move to America, or I want to apply for my citizenship, or I want to get that car, or I want to fix up this old house, whatever it is, that an idea suddenly has this power to capture your imagination and then to push you into actually doing something with it. So Monday is a really interesting day, and it's quick and it's fast, and there's lots of positive emotion going on here. Okay. Now, Tuesday, the 21st of March, we've got the moon in Capricorn, and that squares Venus in Aries, Mercury in Aries, and it also trines Mars in Taurus. Now, the energy on Tuesday here is fiery, but it's bombastic in a way. It's even bigger than Monday. And what's interesting about this now is that there's an energy of conflict involved in this. It's people, there's the kind of energy which causes you to position yourself in a sense between me versus them, or us versus them. It divides, it becomes exclusive. So there's this tendency to perceive yourself and other people as either on your side or against you, on your team or on someone else's team, and people kind of settle down in their battle stations. Okay, that's what this energy is about on Tuesday. So what I would suggest is just be aware of that tendency. You know, there was this really interesting Danish advert recently where they grouped different people. So for instance, they took different parts of the population and they grouped them in these circles. So nurses and bikers and doctors and artists, and they grouped these people together, and they looked very different, and they looked very separate. But then they started asking questions like, who has a child, who has been married, who has lost a loved one? And it turned out that everyone was actually really the same, and there was no difference. And that really is the truth. You know, we all see ourselves as belonging to some organization or getting on with some people more than we do with others, and that's fine and that's true. But the energy on Tuesday, the 21st, is really about being divisive and seeing yourself as not part of that. And it's very important to be aware of that and not to give it too much weight, because we are all connected in a way. What happens to one person happens to everybody. So don't give too much time and energy to that, and please don't start a big battle between this is my enemy and I'm right and all of that stuff, because the potential for that is there. I studied the course in miracles a couple of years ago, and the thing that kept coming up was, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And that's a decision that you'll have to make on Tuesday here. Now, on Wednesday, the 22nd of March, we've got the moon in Capricorn, and it squares Jupiter in Libra, Jupiter being the good luck planet in the sign of people. And it also squares Uranus in Aries, Aries again being me, me, me. So there's this ongoing sense of confusion when it comes to prioritizing. Is it me or is it them? Do I look after my own needs or do I do something for other people? It's really interesting, and what I would suggest is that you try and strive for balance. That you don't completely forget about yourself and do everything for everyone else, or that you become totally self-centered and just really ignore other people. Remember also, during this time here, Venus is in retrograde. It's in retrograde from the 4th of March until the 14th of April. And it's also in Aries, the sign of me, and the sign of doing things independently and being a pioneer. So you're naturally less focused on other people than you usually would be anyway. So just try and get a little bit of balance going there. And if there is this potential for combat and for conflict, avoid that and just say, you know what, the way things are at the moment, I kind of, even though it seems very right, even though I feel very powerfully about this, give it a rest, give it a break, and don't start any new feuds or battles unless you really, really have to, because the odds are kind of stacked against you in a sense, because this energy is all about conflict. So you're just kind of playing into that if you're going to get involved in these things. And really, what do you get out of that? I mean, what do you get out of a feud other than pain and hurting someone else at the same time? Now, Thursday, the 23rd of March, we've got the energy changing a little bit. The moon goes into Aquarius at 2:29 in the morning, and the moon then sextiles the sun in Aries and Venus in Aries. So there's great potential on Thursday for inspiration in terms of your ideas or a new technological discovery that's in the world. Something may be discovered on Thursday, but also if you're an inventor or if you're a scientist or an academic or someone who works with ideas, or you've been working on a project, Thursday is your day to really make that breakthrough and to bring this new discovery into the world. Friday, the 24th of March, we've got Mercury in Aries still. Mercury is the communication planet, and again, in Aries, it's very blunt, it's very direct, and it's very forceful. We've got a lot of stuff in fire here, so the week feels potentially combustible. You know, if you say the wrong thing, something may blow up and suddenly you've got this situation on your hands which you never really planned for. So just kind of be careful. So we've got Mercury in Aries. It opposes Jupiter in Libra. And that really encapsulates the me versus them energy of the week. Mercury in Aries is communication, how I think, what I want. Jupiter in Libra is good luck comes via other people and comes via my relationship. They oppose each other, so they're 180 degrees away from each other, and that really is the crux of this week. It's me versus them, and you've got to try and find balance and try and make things more inclusive and deliberately make things inclusive. And if you see someone being excluded, speak up and say, well, actually, we need to do this together. On Friday as well, we've got the moon in Aquarius. It trines Jupiter in Libra and it sextiles Mercury in Aries. And today in particular, working with others will give you the greatest results. Okay? And really standing up for the person who has been excluded, or really becoming aware that you're stronger as a group than as individuals. If you become aware of that, and if you're in a situation and you do something about that, you can really make a lot of progress here. So, you know, Thursday was about discovery and being inspired, and that was you kind of working by yourself. Friday is the same, but it's working as a team. It's brainstorming with other people. Now, moving on to Saturday, the 25th of March here, the moon goes into Pisces at 8 minutes past 10 in the morning, and Venus conjuncts the sun. Now, this is interesting again because the Sun completely overpowers Venus here. Venus is the planet of love and beauty. It's in retrograde, it's in Aries, so it's weakened already. But the Sun, so the ego, kind of overpowers this now. And it actually, on a physical level, it becomes invisible in the sky for the next couple of days. And really, the ego dominates. So, the saving grace here is that the Pisces moon gives you a great sense of emotional depth, and it's important to let your feelings guide you so that your ego doesn't run away with you. Because the ego is really the thing that wants you to be mildly miserable your whole life and which dominates a lot of our lives. That's why people meditate, and that's why people try and do all this spiritual work, so they're not constantly locked into this ego mode of being, which is selfish and merciless and relentless. Okay, so that is dominating. The Pisces moon gives you a sense of intuition and gives you a sense of emotional depth. So that's your lifeline in the sense that you can connect with the real you through your feelings. Venus is the planet of love and beauty, and that's weakened. So you're not thinking with love. You're not thinking about love, how you can be of service, how you can love someone, how you can help. You're thinking about the ego. How can I have applause, money, power? Okay? And those things do not make a human being happy. The things that make us happy is being of service to other people, thinking with love, connecting to source, and being part of a community. So Saturday the 25th is really a day where, again, it's a balancing act. You know, earlier in the week it was me versus them. Now it's ego versus spirit. And there's this constant back and forth this week, which is what makes this so interesting, because we all have a lot of personal choice here now. We can all choose on Saturday to say, I'm going to be totally ego-based and go gambling and spend money and control other people, or I'm going to deliberately do something else and be of service to someone. And because of that explicit choice, you're going to have different results, but we really have a lot of control here this week. So remember, Saturday the 25th, let your feelings guide you. And feelings can be things like your conscience. It can be your higher self. It can be that inner voice. Now, finally, Sunday the 26th of March, we've got British summertime starting. So our clocks move forward by an hour. In the States, this happened earlier in the month already. It happened on the 12th. We're now doing it 2 weeks later on the 26th. So we're catching up. The moon is still in Pisces. It conjuncts Neptune in Pisces, and it also conjuncts Chiron in Pisces. So Sunday here is, we've got the thing that I immediately thought of when I saw this was that giant old turtle in the swamp of eternal sadness. Because there's the potential to sink into your own feelings and to become completely self-involved and to feel sorry for yourself and to go into self-pity and to really get stuck in your own kind of emotional world. It's really important to get out of self by meeting with friends, by being of service, by talking about your issues, or by volunteering in some way, or by working at something that you care about. Sunday is not the time to isolate yourself, to sit by yourself, and to contemplate how terrible your life is. You will drown, you will sink if you go into that mode. Sunday, the 26th of March, is very, very important to take action and to be proactive and not let your feelings drag you down, because there's really the potential for that. So that's what I get for this week. Very, very interesting. We've got lots of options, lots of choices here. If you would like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. And what I can do is I can draw up your birth chart by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth to look at your birth chart and see what that says about you in terms of your life purpose, what your vocational aptitudes are. And then we can also have a look at your transits in terms of what's coming up in 2017 and beyond in terms of your love life, work, career, finance, spirituality, anything at all. I also use the tarot during my my readings, so we can really have a really good in-depth look at what's coming up for you in future. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and I will speak to you for the daily tarot readings and for the weekly horoscopes. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you soon.